Welcome back, everyone, to Story Reckless. I am Nathan. I will be your DM this evening. I use he, him pronouns. And let's introduce our players.
My name is Claire. My pronouns are they, them, and I am still playing Quidam, half-elf grave cleric.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Olive, you're muted.
My name is Olive. Drink. My name is Olive. I use they and she pronouns. And I'm playing Lovelace, Centaur Worm, apparently hanging out in all these tunnels underground.
Got it. Understood. It took me a second there. Yeah. Well, with that, let's do some quick updates here before we go into the recap. I just want to throw some updates out. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody for helping us reach our goal of 50 followers and our path to affiliate. However, we looked into it to what was actually the entail of becoming an affiliate, and we've decided not to become an affiliate despite us getting the goal of being able to do it. Yeah, we thought about it, and the downsides right now for how small we are they just don't outweigh what we would get with it. And the main one being that we would suddenly have ads running on our show, and as far as we could tell, the only way to kind of bypass that is we'd have to like put ad breaks in. I don't know. Point is,
the way that you avoid the ads is by putting ads
in. Yeah.
You can choose to take control over when people see ads, but you have no control over whether they see ads.
Point is, I won't get into the nitty gritty. We decided not to do it, but I do want to acknowledge the fact that we got to that goal, and just thank you everybody for helping us with that. It was very exciting. So, yeah, but who knows? Maybe someday in the future, if we continue to grow, maybe. Okay. I just want to see. Yeah, thank you, Mara. You're right. If we wanted to, we could. Hopefully. Yeah. Anyways, so thank you, and let's jump right into it. And without further ado, let's do a quick little recap here. What's going on? So, last time, as Lovelace and Quidam delved into the platinum mine at the backside of the town of Vermilion, seeking out, partially seeking out to see if there were any platinum veins available, but mainly for Quidam and Lovelace, it was to put the previous residents of the village of Vermilion to rest, those that had been turned into meenlocks, and vanquish this, malevolent force that had taken hold here. Through a series of tense crawling through tunnels, which Lovelace alluded to with being a worm, and having a direct confrontation with these meenlocks, resulting in a actually explosive climax of some dynamite exploding within the tunnel, you managed to destroy all the meenlocks, which Quidam actually put to rest, killed one of them in a more gentle way, as it lie there clutched in Quidam's hand, limp, after being destroyed by a Toll the Dead spell. With the quiet settling over the cave, though, one of the meenlocks had lured a black pudding into the cave, and you all had a desperate escape away from this thing as it tried to dissolve Lovelace, as she stood her ground, throwing sticks of dynamite at it. But you managed to scurry out of the caves and back out into the cool air, not dank. Well, actually, I don't know if you're going outside, so we'll say you've gotten out into the mine shaft itself. Behind you, the twisting labyrinth of meenlock tunnels. Panting a bit out of breath, you stand here, the collapsed section of the cave behind you. Manfred and Renwyn not looking great, very beat up, clothes tattered. You can see bruises and cuts all over him. Manfred as well has some nasty gashes in his side from the meenlock's claws. And he's currently clutching this one last stick of dynamite that he carefully puts into his bag. So,
would Manfred be showing visible wounds?
Oh, that is a good point. No, you're absolutely right. Manfred, in fact, his clothing doesn't even look tattered or anything. He still looks as he has looked, since his hat of disguise wouldn't really show that update to any of his wounds. So yeah, he actually looks fine.
Poor guy.
Although you probably both, with your passive perception, you probably both notice, like, there is a little bit of blood that seems to kind of just suddenly appear and drip onto the floor below him, despite the fact that none of his clothes look tattered. So, with that, as you step out into this mine shaft, what would you both like to do?
What did we learn? What did we accomplish in there?
We put them in the ground. I don't know. We made this place safer, at least for now. Now we got the space to, I don't know, figure something else out without fearing that we're going to be taken away in the night.
There's still at least 3 others out there, out in Vermilion proper.
Manfred kind of reaches his head up and his hand up and is rubbing his temples, and he says, "The whispers have faded. I don't hear anything anymore." And both of you, as you take a moment, you realize, for the first time in a while, all you hear is just that dripping of water from the collapsed section of the cave behind you.
Quidam, I don't know if, with all that ruckus that we just made, any of them would have stayed out and let us just, like, go through their nest like that. I think we were able to draw them in pretty effectively. There might be 1 or maybe 2 out there. But it does lead to the question, what now? Manfred, I believe you wanted to look down the other tunnels.
Yeah, forgive me, I was trying to catch my breath after all of that running around. Yes, we still haven't found any signs of actual platinum veins. I would like to...
I did actually see a little bit back there in the nest, up on the roof. It just seemed like there were more pressing matters.
You're saying that the platinum is in...
I mean, presumably that's not the only platinum in this mountain.
Probably right.
Who knows if it was platinum? It could have been silver or something. But it was shiny, and it was in a rock. Y'all are the geologists.
It would be good for me to at least look at it so I could confirm that it is platinum or some other... Oh. Perhaps there's something down one of these other tunnels we could at least check and see.
Seems considerably safer.
Before we go back in there, let's check these tunnels, catch our breath. And I'm terribly sorry, but I'm going to need to go back in and confirm that it was platinum, unless we find some down one of these other spurs. Renwin's just like, do we really need to go back in there? I really just want to leave, but I don't want to go by myself.
What, Manfred? My word's not good enough?
I trust your word. It's more that I need to confirm what type of ore it might be. Since you're not trained in these things, it could have been shiny quartz, or it could have been silver, or perhaps something else. It's not certain whether it is platinum.
Alright, well, let's catch our breath and check the other tunnels. Might be a moot point.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll slightly montage this as, you know, it's not too crazy, but pushing down the northern spur as you go down it. You do come relatively quickly to another dead end. At this dead end, you see something. Let me see. Yes. Okay. You do see various divots, like holes that have been drilled into the rock at various heights. Upon inspecting it, you can see each of them are empty, and there are some like crates that have been busted open and have been removed of all of their contents. But it looks like the holes in the rock are about the size of what you saw in the meenlock lair, about the same size of one of those sticks of explosives. However, you do not see any veins of platinum within here. Going down the other chamber, Lovelace, as you enter, when you get to the threshold of this chamber, you actually see something first that catches your eye, and you smell something. As you're approaching, there's a strong smell of, how would I describe it? I mean, it's like kind of like manure. You can see in the dark that there is a smattering of droppings all over the floor, kind of a chalky white in coloration. And looking up in the ceiling, you see little bundles that are slightly moving and twitching. Make a perception check for me.
Also, have we taken a short rest with us catching our breath?
You haven't.
Okay.
Make a perception check for me.
Great. Awesome. 19, my friend.
Awesome. Looking up, you see, these small leathery wings clutching these little furry bodies, and they're all just slightly twitching, their little ears kind of moving around. However, something does catch your attention because you notice a couple of these bundles of mammals, bats, we'll just say they're bats, these little bats clinging to the ceiling. You watch as one of them kind of, and the image itself kind of shimmers and seems to be, it's really odd. There's like this displacement effect on the creature itself, kind of, and then it goes back, and you just see the bat sitting there on the ceiling.
Hold up, something's funny about those things. Quidam, I saw one of them shimmer. Could you do your magic looking thing, magic sight?
I can. Do you mind if you give me 10 minutes?
Yeah, we can take it slow. Something's funny about them. I don't like them.
I will ritual cast detect magic. Then.
Sure. Before you do that, this is such a loaded question, so I want you to be honest with me.
Okay.
How were this is to Olive? How were you speaking to Quidam just now?
In
volume wise.
I think.
Do you because it's fine if you didn't whisper, because I know whispering can be as in actually.
Yeah, I think
act whisper.
Normal. I think it's at
a normal volume. Okay.
Yeah, just being like, hey, hold up. Something's
okay.
funny about this.
Okay. Quidam, as you are getting ready to ritual cast this, Lovelace, you notice as you look back into the cave, a series of these critters and they turn their heads towards you, and you see these little eyes. They start opening all up on the ceiling, catching the glint of your torches, and you all see these little eyes appearing in the dark, all looking back towards you.
I don't like them.
And you hear this and you see as multiple of them start to, and they start shifting, this strange effect where their bodies seem to be shifting from one place to the next, and then they all and unfurl their wings and come in this huge swarm of leathery wings and black bodies that just comes, and you can see that multiple of them seem to be doing this strange displacement effect, just as they're swirling around you. Let's roll initiative. Sorry. You woke them up because I rolled to see if they would wake up to your speaking. Okay.
This normal bat behavior?
These don't look like any bats you've ever seen.
I don't think I've rolled above a 5 on the last, 3 initiative rolls.
Okay. Little bats. I think bats are so cute, by the way.
I like them.
You don't like bats?
I do. Bats are friends.
Yeah. Bats are so cute. I sometimes try to get my partner to watch little bat videos with me and be like, see, look how cute they are. And she's usually not amused.
Not enthusiastic about bat cuteness.
Yeah, sometimes I'll find one and she's like, yeah, it's cute. But most times it's like, I don't know.
Have you seen mini bats in real life?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I've seen quite a few. Quidam, what did you get?
11.
11. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
it was
total
right there.
non sequitur.
Have you, Lovelace, what did you get? And I'll ask you the question. Have you seen many
4.
bats? 4. Okay.
And some, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call this. No, you all see them. I'm not gonna give them a surprise round. However, I will at least allow them to. They have swooped up on your position. So this song is called Rat Battle. We'll just replace the R with a B. Okay, so these bats are suddenly swarming around you, Lovelace, and Quidam.
I'm out of rages.
You're gonna have to rely on your own hit points like an honest person.
All right, but luckily, whatchamacallit, Renwin is up first. I also need to pull something up really quick before we kick this combat off, because I was going to create a stat block for these bats, but I didn't get around to it, so I need to do some quick home brewing. Here we go. Just gonna grab this.
Lovelace, you're looking hurt. Yeah, but not terrible.
Okay.
I'm at half health. I could have really used a short rest.
So, as
Good to know.
Renwin pulls out his little dart gun and shoots it at the bats that are swarming around you, Quidam. Let's see if it hits. And he has disadvantage on this attack, as each bat is doing this strange displacement effect, which is creating this really odd effect that's hard to hit. But he rolls a 22, even with disadvantage. Excellent.
Renwin's more useful in combat than Manfred.
I know. Don't let it be true. I'm just moving you for a second, Quidam, because the bats are in your space.
Cool. I was wondering about that.
Yeah. This is piercing damage, and because they are a swarm, yes, they have resistance. So this will be 6. It's actually only 3. But I guess the bats need to make a con save, a swarm of bats. I don't know how that works.
See, he dipped his darts in white nose fungus or something.
Yeah. You know, this is one of those moments where
I don't want to kill bats.
I know.
Bats are friends.
They are.
You know what? This is one of those moments where I just can't justify how a single dart would poison the entire swarm, so I'm not even going to have that take effect. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't justify that in my head.
Sure.
Okay, so that was Renwin. It's now all the little bats. So here they go. So they're 1 on you, Quidam, and 2 on you, Lovelace. So So we'll
I don't
start.
have advantage. I didn't attack recklessly.
That's right. So we'll
I
start
just
with
enjoy
you.
the novelty.
Start with you, Lovelace. Here we go. 21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, you're gonna suffer from 4 points of piercing damage as they start to all nip and bite at you. And here comes the next bat swarm. 17 to hit.
Me or
You, yeah.
Yeah, 17
Okay.
hits.
6 points of piercing from that one. And Quidam,
Yeah.
19 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. 5 points of piercing.
Alright.
Okay, that was the bats. Quidam, you are up.
Ow,
Excellent.
Stop it! Get off
Um,
it!
If I move out of the shared space with the bats, will they get an attack of opportunity?
Yes, they will.
And there are 3.
3 swarms.
Groups.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna cast Word of Radiance.
Sorry, what?
Word
What's
of
that?
Radiance.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
Oh,
Me
really?
neither.
It's a cantrip. The swarm that I'm in and the one that Lovelace is in need to make con saves
Cool. Okay.
or take 2d6 damage.
Wow.
Radiant
Okay.
damage.
So 2 con saves. Here we go. An 8 and a 3.
Yes.
Neither of those succeed, interestingly enough.
Really?
Alright. That's 7 points of radiant damage for each swarm.
That's awesome. That's a cantrip?
Yeah.
That's super cool. What does it look like, do you think?
I think there's just kind of this flash of golden light. Ooh, but first.
Yeah. It's okay.
First, I mean it is just kind of an exclamation of surprise and alarm.
Yeah.
But what comes out is a word of celestial, which
Ooh.
sounds like almost just like Quidam's voice, like normal.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's as though a chorus comes in behind them,
Mm-hmm.
just for a brief second, and then this flash of golden light.
Yeah. And there's just a sudden cascade of dark shadows all over the walls from these numerous bats. Which does remind me, yeah, so all of the ones that got hit, so those 2 swarms, that displacement effect, you see it suddenly stop. Like, and now they look just like bats swarming around you. So attacks won't have disadvantage on them for now. Okay.
Weird.
Bonus action. Trying to decide who gets this. Bonus action healing word on Renwin.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, roll those. He
Renwin
needed
does
that.
not have the amount of hit points that you do, Lovelace. That's 6 points of healing for him.
He is almost back up to full.
Alright.
Okay, excellent, Quidam. If that's it for you, Manfred. Manfred will not shoot his pistol. He's going to pull out his
My goodness.
short sword.
I appreciate that.
He's going to pull out his short sword and swing at the bats. Swing at the bats. Yes, he hits. Does 4 damage, so that is reduced to 2 on that swarm. Okay, you see him slash his sword through this cloud of bats, and numerous bats suddenly fall down limp onto the ground. And he will use his bonus action to give helpful on that swarm, granting anyone who attacks it advantage. Okay, Lovelace, you are up.
Get! I think just like swinging wildly around at these friends.
Okay.
I'm too confused and exhausted to rage, I guess. Like, there's no clear path. It's just like, get!
Yeah. Oh, you're out of rages. Is that what
I'm
you
out
said?
of
Yeah,
rages.
Okay, yeah.
And I think just like I mean, using a like stick to like bat at like mobs.
Bat at bats?
Bat at bats. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take some pike swings, I guess. Attacking the one that Manfred gave the help on.
Okay.
So this is with advantage without having to get disadvantage.
Okay.
20 and 22 to hit.
Yeah, both those hit.
8 damage on the first hit.
Okay. That was on the one that Manfred... You said that Manfred did? Okay, so that is 4 damage. Go ahead and make your next attack.
And then 22 is on the second attack, and that's 14 damage.
Okay, so with 2 decisive strikes,
They're not decisive. Very clearly,
right.
just
doing this with your flailing of this pike. As you come to rest on your like final like swing, you just see now that all the bats surrounding Quidam, there's like one left that's just like, and it flies out of the cave over everyone's head, and there's just like a pile of bats at Quidam's feet. Which I feel really bad about, but it's okay.
I do too. Get it. We can leave.
Well,
we don't gotta fight these things. Get out of here. I think Lovelace yells.
Okay, so that bat swarm is dealt with. And anything else for you, Quidam? Or sorry, Lovelace?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna like not stand in front of everybody. That's kind of my job. But the rear.
Renwyn. I mean, Renwyn will shoot a little dart at the one that's harrying you.
They are hairy.
This is still made not at disadvantage, so yeah, he hits. Hey, look at that. Oh wait, why did I roll 2? Okay, so 6 damage to that one, which is reduced. Okay, and he starts backing out, like waving for everybody to leave. However, on the bat's turn, the one that's swarming around you, Lovelace, you see them, that displacement effect, something coming back on all these bats around you, and they all swirl up over your head and start flying down the tunnel out and away. So they're flying over your head, Quidam, over Manfred's, over Renwyn's. Everybody can make attack of opportunities if you would like, as they are fleeing out of the cave away from all of you.
Nah, they're an important part of this ecosystem.
Okay, so...
Yeah, if they're leaving, I'm not gonna stop them.
Okay, they fly out, and they use their movement to flee. They actually go... You watch as they curve around this like, mine shaft, and they're going towards the, dark... Like, back towards where the meenlocks were nesting. So they fly out of sight.
You're muted.
Really? Is there an exit out there?
So they fly in that direction. The other swarm, however, hasn't been touched, and they come swooping down, swirling around you, Lovelace. So they are going to start nipping at you. 20 to hit. Okay. And you take 4 points? Hold on. They get a bonus? Nope. You take 4 points of piercing damage from that.
I don't like it.
Okay, Quidam, you are up. There's this one final swarm that's nipping and biting at Lovelace. You can see some of them have actually landed on Lovelace's shoulders, and you actually see their little mouths like opening up and biting into the flesh and like pulling these little chunks out.
Oh. Word of Radiance again, because that worked well last time.
Okay.
Another con save, please.
Another con save. Here we go. 14.
That fails.
Okay.
6 points of radiant damage.
6 points. Okay. So with another burst of radiant light, you see numerous bats fall down onto the ground. And some of them kind of up into the ceiling. Is that it for you, Quidam?
Let's cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. On Lovelace?
Yeah, Lovelace.
Okay.
I think I'm good. Also, I don't think you can cast 2.
Oh wait, that's 2 actions. I'm sorry. I could do Healing Word.
Yeah, it's fine. I got hit dice.
I
I mean, if Quidam's gonna do it, Quidam should go ahead. But
I feel like all of us need healing right now. No, I said I was gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, go for it. Roll your
Lovelace.
hit dice.
Wow, I just broke my die.
what?
I rolled a 4 though, so that's 8 points of healing.
Oh, that makes me sad.
That was not a dramatic roll to break a die on.
I got rolled max.
All right.
Okay, well, now my D4 is slightly broken.
Oh,
Wait, can you hold it up? Can we see?
I don't know. It's like,
yeah. How does a die break?
well, they're gems.
Oh, okay. I can't really see. You'll have to
Yeah.
take a picture later and send
Yeah.
it. We could post it on our socials because I'm curious. All right. So with that, Quidam.
That was just 4 healing?
No, 4 plus 4 is 8.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. With that, Manfred comes up behind you, Quidam, pulling his pistol out, and he goes, "I'm so sorry. Everybody close their ears."
Wait, no!
He fires his pistol at the swarm. 22 to hit. 8
I mean, it might
damage.
disorient them if it's loud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're seeing the bats are starting to kind of breaking apart and flying above you, Lovelace. Many of them have come off of you from biting you. Lovelace, you are up.
I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
I think I just take the dodge action and try to shoo him away, being like, "Get out! We're
Okay.
just passing through." Can I make animal
Yeah,
handling?
make an animal handling check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Animal handling plus 5. 23, my friend.
Okay, so before, I'm not even gonna get to Renwin as he's backing out of the cave. You're shooing them away, and these bats come off of you and start swirling above your head. And then, much like the other group, they fly out over all of your heads, and they go flying down the mine shaft back towards where the meenlock lair is, and disappear out of sight.
That was thoroughly unpleasant.
Yeah, everyone all right? It was just weird.
Yeah, bats aren't normally predatory creatures. They're keystone, not keystone, but they're like important parts of the ecosystem.
I've never met a
What's an
bat
ecosystem?
like that.
It's a centaur word.
Oh, all right.
I've heard of this in books. It's ecosystems. It is a thing. Okay. With that, you are now standing inside of this chamber. You can see all of the guano on the ground before you, as well as there is. You can see there's a bunch of old worn pickaxes and tools. There's a busted minecart off to one side. And then there are these little spurs into the rock that kind of go off and come to an end, where you can see there's many like tool marks on the walls. Manfred does scurry in past both of you and starts like carefully inspecting the rock. But while he's doing that, would either of you like to do anything while he's kind of poking around this chamber?
I'm like just like bandaging, like kind of brushing off like these bites. Maybe like I've gotten out like a small thing of like lotion or oil and just like rubbing on the like kind of like inflamed bits.
Yeah.
Don't want these to get infected.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually not paying terribly much attention to the people here, and I'm just kind of leaning against one of the walls, staring off into the middle distance, arms crossed.
Hey, Quidam, that was a neat trick with the light and burst. Was that another surprise for you as much as us?
Sort of, yeah, I suppose. I haven't done that one before.
Something the matter?
Oh, there's a lot of this that's... It ain't a surprise when I do it, even though I don't necessarily know that I coulda. This just don't feel right. I'm gonna push off the wall and head back down the corridor.
Okay. After some time, Manfred comes back to you, Lovelace. Unfortunately, I don't see any. This seems to be a dead end. Looks like they were working through here but didn't find anything. My suspicion is that they tapped whatever vein was here and they continued pushing and that collapse occurred. And perhaps there's something beyond the rubble, but if what you say is true, there's a vein within that awful place we were just in.
Well, I ain't going back in there today, any rate.
Yeah, it's not today. As much as I want to head home, we need to regroup and go carefully back in there so I can take a closer look. Then we can go. That's the final thing. We at least know where it is.
Fair enough. Let's head out then.
Yeah.
Maybe get some lunch. It's getting a little bit late.
Okay. So as you both head out into the hall, you don't actually yeah.
I would like to just go and take a look down the path where the bats went and see if I can see where they flew out.
Okay. Sure.
But if I still see them and they're hanging around in wait, I don't want to re-engage that kind of situation.
Of course. You do see all the bodies of the bats on the ground before you. I
don't know if I killed a lot. Maybe them dying is them just dispersing and getting scared.
I mean, there's definitely some because of
they fainted Pokemon.
Yeah, they wake up and they fly away. I mean, no, there are definitely some dead bodies from the radiant light for sure. Maybe the ones you hit were more
big sticks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. You look down at them and they have these very slick black bodies. You know, the fur is very tightly packed. But their ears are really large and elongated with these little tufts on the end. And you notice that despite the fact that they have normal bats, they have these little feet down at the bottom for clinging onto the wall and stuff, and then they're like bat-like wings. But you do see that kind of tucked up underneath the chest, where the clavicle would be. There's a second pair of little arms that are tucked up in there, kind of splayed out. And the teeth themselves are filled with lots of rows of little sharp teeth. So they look not like bats you're used to. But Lovelace, as you are heading out and Manfred's following you, Quidam, you've wandered off down the hall. What would you like to do as you head back towards that collapsed section of the cave?
I want to go back to the meenlock's hole.
Okay. You see it there before you.
Just stand in front of it.
Okay.
And stare and think. Just kind of mutter to myself. I think it's just kind of in quick succession. I feel like this should have been easier, more straightforward. No. No, that is an arrogant thought. We need to relax a little bit more into this. This ain't right, though. What's going wrong here? What am I missing? And just kind of be angry at the hole.
Sure. Well, as you're standing there in front of the hole, muttering to yourself, waving your arms, I don't know if you hear it or not, but Lovelace, you start to come around the corner and see Quidam sitting there muttering and waving their arms in the air in front of the entrance to the meenlock lair. Yeah. Do you want to do anything, Lovelace?
I think my presence is known. Just clip, clop, clip,
Yeah.
clop, clip.
Soft.
Slow.
Yeah.
Clop.
Hey. Did you find anything?
Just looking for the bats. You?
Oh,
You see where they get out of here?
no. I haven't seen any of them.
There's got to be a hole here somewhere, and I think I'm just like raising a torch up towards the like roof to see if there's like a small like crag or something.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Gentleman's 20.
So you're waving the torch around at the ceiling. You don't see any holes or crags, and as you lower it down and kind of peer towards the meenlock hole, you can hear... Actually, what'd you hear? Sure. I'll say that you don't necessarily hear it. It's odd. As you peer through, you see a couple of... In the far distance, like just outside of your view of light, you see a couple of small shapes kind of flitter past your field of view, deeper within the meenlock warren.
Fascinating. I think they went down in there.
Are they meenlock bats? Are they bats that suffered incredible torment and then became meenlocks? I don't know.
I'm thinking that there's just a hole that both the meenlocks and the bats were using to get outside somewhere in there. Lots of crannies in that little network that we didn't go down.
Certainly we did not explore that whole thing.
Just, it's good to know.
I'm inclined to leave them.
Oh yeah, I ain't following. I just wanted to know if there's another way out of here. Seems like useful information.
Nathan, do I know anything about Fae worship of deities or Fae sacrifices? What use would those waist-high blocks of stone covered in dried blood be?
Yeah. Make a religion check.
Mm-hmm. Religion. 23.
Okay. Yeah. Perhaps it was something that you read in the book that was back at the house. I'm forgetting the name of the person, but the mayor's house. Lee
Duvison.
Lee Duvison, yeah. There was a passage in there that described how the meenlocks torment their captors to then create more meenlocks. And they often do it, they'll often have a site for doing it, a place for doing it. And it usually involves restraining them on a surface, usually some kind of almost sacrificial display of some sort to restrain their victims, and then they resume tormenting them for hours until they eventually go through a metamorphosis and transform into a meenlock.
All right.
So you surmise that those stone slabs were of meenlock make. How they are created is a little fuzzy on the book that you read. They're not sure.
Mm-hmm. would I know whether, like, was the place significant, and so they chose this place to transform their victims,
Right.
or is it significant because that's just the place they set up?
Yeah.
I mean, we know of a traumatic thing that happened in this place.
Right, but like that area in particular?
It's not necessarily going to be like significant because of where it is. It's just that it is a place where they do it. It's not that it has to be like tied to
convenient.
Something. Right. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, kind of going off of that from that same book as a reminder, meenlocks tend to manifest in places where the veil is thin between the Feywild and the material plane.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about.
And it occurs when there is severe trauma. It can create these beings, or these beings are... It's unclear whether they literally spring from the ground, which is what the book seems to imply, or if they are perhaps drawn to it, the source of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the book is, you know, a little more whimsical and talks of it in a way of like they spring out of the rocks. So.
All right.
I mean, we saw him springing out of the rocks. Them shadows.
Yeah.
Quidam, what you got on your mind? I see you're noodling on something.
Yeah, I am. I don't think that... We ain't hearing whispers anymore. That's good. That's a step in the right direction. We have not solved the issues here. One of them's relatively easy. We take all these people's objects back up to the surface, let them breathe again.
Yeah.
Lay them to rest as best we can. But the veil is still thin here. I don't know how to... How do you make a down comforter between realms? Oh.
I don't know, like some sort of... Could you, like, consecrate the ground or something? Like, do your death doula in? You got...
Yeah.
I mean, if this place responds to emotions...
That's true.
You could... How do you ask a place about its feelings?
I've got some ideas now. You're right. This place does respond to emotions, and right now I'm just throwing frustration at it, and that ain't helpful.
You'll probably think better. You got some food in you. Let's go get lunch.
That's true. I am hungry.
All right.
Let's go get lunch.
Okay. You all work your way back up out of the tunnel and make your way into the entrance to the mine. Stepping out, you can see that thick mist that has been clinging to the area, it does seem to be lightening ever so slightly, and you're seeing that diffused sunlight coming through in little breaks in the mist above, and you can see hints of blue periodically peering out, but then quickly being swallowed up again by the mist. But you still stand here at the entrance. It is very quiet. Not many birds. Not any, really. And just the mist swirling around you. You know the town lies up ahead down this little canyon. But what would you all like to do?
Climb up on a bluff and have some lunch?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to make you roll for this. Easy enough. You're able to get up above the town and set up on a little bluff. You manage to actually pop out of the mist, and you can see it seems to be clinging down below. You just see every once in a while the dark shapes of the buildings poking out. But as you pull up out of the mist and sit up on this granite bluff, you're greeted with a beautiful blue sky above, and just the sound of the evergreens blowing in the wind around you. But you sit down and start having lunch. Renwyn and Manfred eagerly lay back.
I was thinking spread eagle toward the sky.
Start eating their food. Yeah, you can both take a short rest if you'd like.
Thank you.
I would like that, please. Gonna spend some hit dice.
Oh yeah.
One D12. Get to roll some D12s.
Sure, I will roll for Manfred. I don't know if I need to really keep track of this too closely. Hey. Good job, Manfred.
Yeah, I mean, what are the chances that we're going to get into another combat encounter? It's probably fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
55 hit points is more than enough for anybody.
You're a monster.
Or are the monsters the real monster? Not us. You have to ask
That's
yourself.
too easy.
It really makes you think.
Really makes you think, are the monsters the real monsters? What a twist. Honestly, it's funny because, like, I mean, it's fine, but yeah, there's been quite a lot of stories now of the monsters not being the monsters, so it's like you almost wonder if that pendulum's gonna come back around, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah.
I'll let my light fade. I don't recast it and just lie there, face up toward the sun.
Yeah.
Eyes closed.
Actually, that's a good point. All of your torches are probably getting really low, so I don't know if you necessarily have them out while you're sitting up on this bluff. But yeah.
How much silver y'all got?
Silver?
Yeah. Or iron you're willing to part with?
Couple pieces? 5? I don't know, what's ever in my pocket?
Yeah. Got an idea. I don't know if it'll work.
I have about 8 pieces of silver on me.
Yeah, same. 16 plus 5 is 19, right? No, 21.
I got about 20.
Right. 41 pieces of silver.
Oh, and yeah, now I would expect to be paid back, you know, if I give this up. Just, I mean, I know we just went through like life and death situation. I have no idea why you need the silver. It's gonna save my life, and sure, I'll give it up. But you know, if we get out of here alive, just say.
I can pay you back. And I'll just toss him 2 gold.
Works for me. And he'll pass you 20 silver.
Okay.
Pass you my 5. What you
thanks.
doing, Quidam?
If I have 100 golds worth of powdered silver and iron, I might be able to do something.
Okay, that's my 8 silver.
Thanks. I think most of it's gonna need to be iron.
You have iron?
There's a blacksmith back there in town.
Yeah. There is. I don't
Go.
really have iron.
Yeah, let's go check that.
Okay. So you all finish your short rest, and you want to head back into town to the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You climb down the bluff and back into the mist, And when you get to the blacksmith's place, stepping inside, you just see this old abandoned blacksmith's with a cold forge in one corner. You can see some rusted tools. There's grass growing up between the floorboards in multiple places, and the roof has caved in in others. Why don't you both, or one of you, do investigation checks? With one of you can do it with advantage, or you can both do it separately.
Take advantage. Quidam.
Cool, thanks. And I would have knocked on the door before entering and asked permission from Tormund and Blennis,
Okay.
if we can come in.
What's this one?
Just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Man, am I grateful for that advantage. 19.
Wow. Okay. You. Oh yeah. Okay. So you find a couple things. You do see in one corner very oxidized, rusted iron, like iron ingots and some raw iron. There
Beautiful.
is quite a bit just like left in a I don't know how a blacksmith is set up, but we'll just say it's scattered on the floor. Like it probably was stored somewhere, and over time it's just been discarded. You also find, as you're picking through it, you see one of the floor panels. As you pick up one of these pieces of iron, it seems to kind of lift up a bit, and it looks like it's warped with the weathering, so it's come out of its little notch. But it looks like it was purposely built to be like a false panel in the floor.
Mm-hmm. Underneath?
Peel it up, and it kind of pops out, and you look in, and you see this. It's a relatively small opening, maybe like a foot to a foot and a half by like 8 inches or something. As you pull this floorboard up, but underneath there's a relatively bigger space. It's been kind of built to store things, and there is a steel shield lying under there with beautiful platinum filigree in the shape of winding serpents that runs along the edges of it. There's also 2 short swords with platinum filigree on the hilt and pommel, in a similar serpent motif. And then there is a stack of very nice, like, iron ingots, 10 iron ingots resting within there that are more like, well, they're ingots, right? The stuff you found in the corner is more raw. There's still bits of rock in it, and these are actual iron ingots. There are 10 of those. They are technically 1 gold piece each, but, you know, it's iron ingots. I will grant you if you want to use that as your spell component. No problem.
Yeah. I'm taking everything I can.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worth 1 gold in their raw ingot form, but if we do some processing to them, that can like add value to a raw material, such as powdering them.
Yeah,
I mean, making them worth more.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna get too hung up on it. Like, you found iron ingots, and there's 10 of these. Like, yeah, you will. I don't know how the magic works. Like, if it's going to powderize it via the casting of it, or if you want to actually get into the specifics of.
I need it powdered.
Okay, then yeah, we'll figure it out. How are you gonna powder these iron ingots? Yeah.
Yeah, Lovelace, you're the one with biceps.
You got a 19, right?
I did.
Okay. Find one more thing. This is exciting.
We have not gotten a good loot drop for any of these campaigns so far.
Nope.
I'm so excited.
You see inside of this compartment, there is you almost would have missed it, but it looks like there's one more little false panel inside of there, like a separate container. And as you push on it, it's actually constructed such that when you push in on it and push pressure on it, you feel something like unhinge, and then it kind of pops open, and resting in there is a ring. Beautiful looking platinum ring that has these like waves engraved all along it. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I will pull all of this out.
Okay.
Lovelace, you want these platinum and filigreed short swords? They seem like something you might enjoy. Here.
I think Lovelace is just kind of like dumbstruck. Like, she's maybe never like held something like this expensive that could be hers. Like maybe like moving cargo around.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I can't take. What?
I mean, you don't have to.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. These are beautiful. Where'd you find these? Who's
under this floorboard here? Probably Tormund and Blennis.
Yeah, that tracks. I give them a couple swings. How do they feel?
They feel great. Yeah.
Like 5% more efficient at attacking.
More likely to hit people.
Let me get a whetstone. I'm gonna take care of these. Like age has kind of like dulled their edges, and I think Lovelace is gonna spend a little bit of time getting to know them. Like maybe tuning with them.
Okay.
That will take an hour.
We got time. We got lunch.
Yeah. Okay. So you spend some time with these swords. And
the shield. I want the shield too.
Okay.
No, wait, you can have the shield. You
have a lower AC than I do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I need 2 hands.
So you're gonna spend an hour in here just like figuring out what these swords are all about, while Quidam, are you gonna try to figure out a way to powderize this iron?
Yeah, I think I will take 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic to see, like, and pull out all of our objects that we have gotten and see what's magical, if anything, and then I will apply myself towards.
All right, the goggles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Powdering my materials.
Yes. Okay. So you sit down for 10 minutes, focusing in on these items, and after 10 minutes, you sense a magical aura coming off the goggles.
Mm-hmm.
A magical aura coming off the ring, and one of the swords has a magical aura coming off of it. For the trying to think of the schools of magic. For the goggles, probably like transmutation.
Transmutation?
Yeah, is my guess. Same with the ring, actually. And for the sword, it's I think it's like evocation or something. Yeah, it's again, these are not like, I mean, they're clearly magical, but they're not like this like blinding aura. Like, these are magical, they're just not potent magic.
Okay. What about the ivory drinking horn?
No, that is
okay.
Not.
That's just nice. And while we're at it, how much in that coin pouch?
Yeah, let me give you all the worth of everything. We'll just do that now, because you also have Renwyn and Momfred, and also I don't want to get too caught up in that kind of stuff. So the shield is worth 50 gold with the platinum filigree around it. The one short sword, both of them have that serpent motif. However, the one that's radiating the magic, honestly, I'm going to leave this to you, Olive, if you want to describe some of the details of that sword. It does have some serpenty thing to it, but yeah. But before you do that, let's get to the homework here. So the one short sword is worth 25 gold with the platinum on it. The horn, the drinking horn, is 150 gold.
Ooh.
The pouch has 50 gold in it. And the dice, I mean, they're really nice dice. You might be able to hawk them for something, but not really a value worth stating here. Was there anything else that you had that might be
comb in the shape of a harp, a paring knife with the letters DB inscribed upon them, a glass blue eye, and a whistle.
Right, okay, those are all the things that you collected. Right, okay.
And Keeve Darney's moldy diary.
Keeve Darney's moldy diary, and a steel helmet with a space for a candle in it, but you know.
Yeah. All of those things...
A candle or dynamite?
All of those things don't necessarily have a value to them that I can give you right offhand. Those are things that, like, if you decide you want to try to sell them, it's gonna, it's gonna be a whole thing.
Is the comb... Is it a decorative comb, or is it something that you brush your hair with?
I like hair things.
Oh, wait. Did you get the comb inside of...
In the mine.
You got it in the mine. Okay. You did get it in the mine. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Here we go.
Wait a minute. We aren't selling those. Those are the personal effects that we're burying, exposing to air so that they can breathe again.
You said a comb. What did you ask about the comb?
Comb in the shape of a harp. I was asking how much money it was worth, but Quidam don't care about that.
Yeah. No, the comb also it's too worn and damaged to really be of value. You might be able to sell some of these things if you wanted to. You might be able to sell some of these things, but yeah, all of that stuff is very worn, like with age and stuff. So.
All right. Thank you. And then yeah, I guess I'm looking. If they were plant materials, I'd say a mortar and pestle, but I don't know how to powder metal.
I think you gotta get shavings somehow. And so, like, some sort of whittling.
I'll give you this with that investigation check that you made, and like Manfred and I would probably actually Manfred and Renwood would come over and start helping you. You find some very old, worn tools. I've never done blacksmithing, so I'm not sure how it worked, but I think you might be on the right track, Olive. I bet it is some kind of file.
Yeah, we need winged scribe.
Yeah, right? Is Winged Scribe... Winged Scribe, I don't think is in chat tonight.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully we can talk to them later at some point and find out. But yes, you find the tools necessary to powderize the iron. It is going to take some time, so you are going to have to sit here for a good while, probably longer than the hour, so we'll say like 2 hours. You're sitting there having to powderize this. But you all settle down for a while inside the blacksmith shop. Quidam, you getting help from Manfred. Renwin sitting in a corner drinking, as you are grinding up this iron and collecting this like, you find like a wooden bowl or something that's still salvageable to start collecting this powdered iron. Lovelace, after an hour, the short sword is a +1 short sword. What do you think the details of this one look like? It does have different designs than the other one. It does have serpent, motifs running through it, but what are the finer details?
Yeah, I've been trying to think. I want them to be like a pair in some way. So like one could be like a serpent's head and the other like a serpent's tail somehow.
Yeah.
And so like
we'll say too, the one that doesn't have the enchantment on it is maybe like a little smaller. Like, oh, maybe it's like a disarming sword,
Yeah. And so like I was thinking like what are interesting like serpent tails for maybe that one? Like does it rattle in some way? That seems really distracting and bad. So like what's a good kind of like way to incorporate rattling into a sword? Like maybe it like whistles a little bit.
Oh, when you swing it? Yeah, there's
just,
little
like,
holes
in some way.
Yeah, it will say it has it looks maybe you've encountered these before from your home, but it has this strange kind of rattlesnake shape on the end of the hilt on the pommel, and there are tiny little holes running through it, and when you start swinging it around, it makes this like whistling sound for the disarming sword.
Oh, and it's like these like diamond kind of things down the hilt for like the diamond back.
The diamond back. So then the other one also has the diamond back pattern running through it, and then it goes where the pommel is where the head is, like rearing back.
And like the hilt things are like little like fangs.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you have a +1 short sword with a diamond back +1 short sword. Super cool.
Yeah.
You guys are so cool.
You got your... This is exciting for me because I feel like with the last couple, you all haven't really gotten like magic items. So
No,
this is the first one.
Yeah.
Like maybe those books.
Well, there was a few things. There was a couple things in the mansion that you just didn't find. So I was like, so yeah.
Like a broom, perhaps.
So this is exciting. I'm excited for you both. And yeah, you don't know necessarily what the... I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to... Well, okay. Does anybody mess with the goggles?
Oh, right.
I probably like put them on.
You put them on, everything becomes really bright and uncomfortable to look through because you have dark vision. So it's like amplifying.
No, that's just unpleasant. I don't know what that's about.
Oh, let me see. Lovelace puts them on.
I mean, the world becomes brighter, but it's not so bright that it's, hard to see. But you do look into darkened corners, and I mean, you've actually experienced this now because of your boon. You see within the dark shadows, it is lit up a bit, or not lit up, but it's like a black and white view of the details, and like.
Oh, that's mighty useful.
Yeah. So those are.
I think these let me see in the dark.
Oh. That is mighty useful. Well,
yeah.
You keep that short sword and you keep those goggles, and you're well on your way to...
I'm becoming an anime character. We're going to have goggles on my head. Magical swords. Yeah, this is great.
Also, just not to sidetrack too much, but someone who's watching tonight, Mara the Ranger, she's my partner. In our home game, she really wanted those goggles and did a whole thing of like buying them like over the course of a year, and it took her, like, based on the rolls that she did, she like, it turned into this thing where it took an entire year and she had to use all of her gold to buy these goggles. So like...
Gosh.
Anyways, yeah, so Lovelace, you have Goggles of the Night. I think since you're using D&D Beyond, you can literally add those to your inventory and then equip them. And then the ring, it's magical, but it's not as... I don't think it's as immediately clear what it does. I think you'd have to attune to that.
I will slip it on my finger and just leave it. I have more important matters to address at the moment.
Okay. So, after the 2 hours, Quidam, you have this pile of powdered iron in this like wooden bowl you've managed to salvage. You do... the ring itself, as you're wearing it and the hour passes, you realize it doesn't require attunement, but you feel... I don't know how this stuff works. Maybe you see flashes, like images in your head, just brief, of running water, and almost like from the perspective of a fish, and you're just gliding through the water like it's nothing. It is a ring of swimming. It does not require attunement, so anybody could wear it at any point.
That's nice, because I don't know how to swim.
There you go. I also love that you have that as part of your character, and if that's awesome. So yeah, it's a ring of swimming. So whoever wants to wear it, Quidam, you're welcome to hold on to it. You are not using D&D Beyond, so you could look it up, of course, but I could just tell you, you now have a swim speed of 40 feet.
40?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I mean, you succeeded on the
I'll say the
investigation
torment and
check.
Glennis.
So that was pretty amazing. You got that high of a check because that thing was
Also,
really hard to find.
Here,
Yeah,
like the only reason we just came back here was because of like a spell component that was like.
yeah.
Usually it's like for flavor, like what those things are. So like I love it that this sent us back here specifically.
I'm shocked too. Like I forgot that this was all here, and then because I was the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, okay, doing this for the spell component, and then you got here and rolled the check, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of shit in here, like just hiding. Like, I'm excited for you both. So
I
what would
now
you like to do?
have 39.1 gold's worth of powdered silver and iron. That's including the 25 silver I have just in my pocket for cast and ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
I am not halfway there yet.
So, again, like, I mean, depending on how you want to play this, but I'm okay with saying that with the amount of iron that's in the shop that you've managed to grind up, you have enough of it. And I think it's actually kind of true what Lovelace said is like, it's so weird to put a monetary value to like getting it into powdered iron, considering that a shopkeep would probably sell powdered iron. It wouldn't be like one bar that's 1 gold worth would then be 1 gold worth of powdered iron. It would probably be like way more because it's so labor intensive to do that. So I think it's fine. You have the weight necessary of iron. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is something. Tomorrow morning, I would like to go back in there. I mean, I suppose, and I nod towards Manfred. I suppose we're going back in there for other reasons as well, but I would like to spend some time at the entrance there and see if there's something I can't do, we can't do even, to make a down comforter, as it were. I like that idea of a warm, soft, comfortable thing that's also really thick between here and the Feywild.
Amazing.
I feel like, just talking out of character, we got like a couple different options. We could try to just like put up walls like this, again, to kind of like mitigate the harm and just like get it to heal over. Mm-hmm. Or we could try to like, I don't know, like a down comforter can just like rip open, and like if we, I don't know, did something to like consecrate the ground, or like, I mean,
yeah. So speaking again,
like
out of
what
character,
are our motivations for this? Like, do we want to just make this thing go away so we can just like tear more metal and ore out of the land? Like, any kind of reconciliation that we might have here would be like poisoned by that if that's like our end goal, right? Like, we just want this to sweep this problem away so we can repeat the mistake.
Oh, I mean, again, speaking out of character, no, not at all. I mean, Quidam is entirely uninterested in reporting back to Box of Screws that we have found platinum. They're hoping to work on Manfred.
Yeah, I regret saying anything.
You said it.
Yep, I did.
Just don't find it again when we go back in.
Yeah, I was in that, like, the area with all the pools. We were just attacked by the black ooze.
It was in the...
It was in the area with the black... ooze?
It was...
In the black pools?
Wait, was it in the black
ooze? It was in the area with the black
I think it was...
pools.
I think it was in the...
Quidam!
Oh, sorry. I sometimes have trouble... Wait, are you saying this as Lovelace or as Olive? This is confusing.
Lovelace now.
Oh. All right. I mean,
Yep.
I believe you. I didn't see any.
I'm gonna need you to make a deception check.
Okay, my passive insight is 17.
I would love to do that with my +0. Could I get advantage if like Quidam picks up on it fast enough?
Quidam has a huge insight bonus. So Quidam,
not lying to Quidam.
Despite these antics of the confusion, we'll say that in real time it was probably something where Quidam immediately picked up. And also we've set a precedent that Quidam has been known to lie. So Quidam, you immediately pick up on what Lovelace is doing. What do you do to aid in this? Just like agree? Are you adding anything to it?
Do you think that we can take care of the ooze? That thing was nasty.
Yeah, I'd want to hear some ideas about how to deal with it, besides hitting a puddle with sticks.
I have one more of these, but it didn't really seem to do enough damage. It did seem slow, though, so perhaps if we can see it before it surprises us, we can pick it off, backing away slowly, hitting it at a distance.
So throwing sticks at it is your idea?
Yeah, but in more methodically, not get close to it.
How much time do you need with this aura? Like maybe one of us could draw it away, and you could go look in there?
A handful of minutes at most. I might even be able to identify it within a matter of seconds, as long as it just depends how much there is and how exposed it is.
Okay, cool. We can head in tomorrow. I'm not going back in there today.
Ah, sounds good. Make that deception check with advantage. We kind of blew past that.
So I think I'm not gonna like, unless he like presses to be like exactly where it is. I want to see how this plays out.
Yeah. We'll leave it to the moment. All right. So with all of that in place, though, do you know what you all want to do for the rest of the day before you head back in tomorrow?
Search the other houses? Like,
yeah.
That seems pretty fruitful.
Okay.
Search for interesting items, yeah, but also, I want more,
Of like an understanding of who these items that we found might belong to.
Sure.
Like,
so why don't you both for this? So same thing. Investigation checks from either both of you or one of you with advantage. And this will just be for the town, and this will just kind of mop up you finding whatever is there. What'd you get?
With advantage, a 5.
Okay, so
that's fair.
Going through house by house. I'll give you this for one thing. The blacksmith, you do find an old sign that's like sitting in the grass as you leave, and as you pull it up and look at it, the blacksmith shop seemed to be, it had a name. It was called the Wand and Hammer, for whatever that's worth. But going through the rest of the town, you find a stonemason's workshop, and it looks like there are several unfinished gravestones inside of the shop itself.
And you have names on them?
There's only one left that there's a bit of a name left. And it reads, Adeline Crean, may you all... It doesn't finish. It was like partially done. It says, all wow.
really impressive that managed to carve that into stone while we getting murdered.
I had to drop a Monty Python reference because.
Oh yes.
Can
we take that with us?
If you want,
well.
Where are you gonna put it? It's a big gravestone, and you don't have horses anymore.
Cart it up to the cemetery.
To the cemetery. Oh yeah. That's fine. I thought you meant to get all the way back to Marin.
No.
So, other than that, though, all of the houses are pretty much just, dilapidated and run down. You're not finding much. You find like a couple of little things like old tools, things of that nature, but nothing that really, stands out. You do find, though, in one of the homes, like scratched into the wall, text that reads, "I can see them, I can always see them." And you find a few more little things like that that hint at what happened here.
Solid environmental storytelling is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. You do, as you pass by the mayor's house, though, as the light is starting to get a bit dimmer and this fog blowing through, you start to hear whispers creeping back into your mind.
Dang it. Guess there's still that one in the manor.
And as you look up at the house, you can see in one of the empty windows a shape just pull out of sight, a dark, hunched shape.
Let's try to take care of that before dark, huh?
You all right? I wish we'd figured out a way to take care of them without killing them. But yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, for the sake of this, because there's only one, and we're almost at 9 o'clock here, I would like to ask you both, like, in a more narrative way, what happens here? Like, how do you dispose of this thing? Do you corner it? Like, because it does have the ability to, you've noticed, it can warp around, but it is limited. It seems like it does it, and then it doesn't always come back. It is possible to trap it, and it seems to really abhor light. So I'm curious, like, what does this look like as you all file into the house? I think Renwyn Renwyn stays outside in what daylight is there.
Yeah, both of y'all stay outside.
And Manfred will stay with him, and then the two of you go into the house.
I think just fill every room with like lit torches. Like fill it with as much as light as we can.
Okay. As you go through room by room, lighting these rooms up with torches, you eventually get to the final room that has not been lit on the top floor. Here, I just want to quickly find. There's a specific room here. As you push open this door, you are greeted with darkness, and Quidam, you hold your light forward and it illuminates the room, and you just see this figure push back into the corner, and you see it kind of, but it is unable to warp away as it, and you can see it clinging to this small bed. It looks like a child's bed, and its claws digging into the wood. And as the light fills the room, you see resting underneath, there's a weathered little stuffed toy just spilled out on the ground. And you see a matted fur covering what looks to be a very cartoonish bugbear, little stuffed bugbear, like just lying there on the ground. And this figure that's pushed up into the corner, its face twitching and looking at you, one of those periphery arms kind of reaches out and clings onto the bed, scratching into the wood. And you see that kind of dug into the knuckles itself, there is a signet ring, and on it there is a snowdrop blossom there. You both have this thing cornered.
Lovely. Or Quidam,
Yeah.
if people can turn into these things, think there's a way to turn them back?
There might be. There might be, but if there is, I don't know it.
Only thought I got is like do the reverse of it, bring their pain out and hold them into the light. But it might just be torturing the poor thing.
I think it would.
While you're having this conversation, your mind is being assaulted with just screams, and you even hear Quidam, as you're trying to have this conversation, you hear Ada crying out in pain in your head. Lovelace, you can hear your family members screaming, and every once in a while you see a small foal behind Lovelace lying on the ground. The mental assault is like increasing as this thing is pushed into the corner.
I'll slump down onto my knees and address Lee. I can see that you love this place so much. You put so much effort into making this place a good home for good people. I see that you were eager to make a living for yourself and for the people here under your care. You made some beautiful things with what you found in that mountain. And it ain't your fault. It ain't your fault that you stumbled upon what you did. I don't know if there was any way you could have known. I'm sorry that this has happened. And I'm sorry that you have been here so long, so scared, and in so much pain. You deserve a lot better than this.
Just see it in the corner. You just hear those whispers swirling through your head.
I don't know if I can do this, Lovelace.
Yeah, I can. You don't have to be in here.
No. No, I need to be.
Okay. What do you both do? And you don't have to describe it in detail, depending on what you do.
I think I stop light on my bracelet.
Okay. That will
Quidam.
throw the room into darkness.
Quidam.
I'm here.
And you see the shape of it in the corner, and it will warp away.
Quidam, well, we had it. You want to go to sleep again with that thing out there?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to kill her. I mean, I thought that was what you were going to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I was expecting that. I'm sorry. I just wanted her to feel a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Well,
I
go ahead.
think Lovelace just kind of like sits down next to Quidam in the dark.
As you sit down with Quidam, comforting them, the silence is broken briefly with a And eventually you hear footsteps coming up the stairs and those whispers, and you just hear a faint sigh in your heads as they come to a close. And you hear faint footsteps behind you. I got it outside. It was trying to flee.
Thanks, Manfred.
Everything okay? Did it hurt you?
No, she didn't.
Okay, I'll be outside with Fenrin. I don't hear anything in my head anymore. I think it might be, And he leaves the room. As the two of you sit in this house, kind of reeling from everything that's happened, you start to hear, as the light is fading outside, a single cricket chirping outside.
I turned my face into Lovelace's shoulder and just cried and cried.
And with that, we will bring this session to a close as we leave Quidam and Lovelace in the dimly lit interior of the mayor's home. And we can just see resting on the floor there a small stuffed bugbear under the bed. Well, that was really intense.
Yeah.
Thank you both for participating. And it was very sad, but it was a very nice scene.
Sad thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really trying to think of a way that it could have gone differently, but it just wasn't coming to me. And when that light went off, I reacted the way I thought it would. So.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was half expecting it to get at least one of them when it got out there.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But like that's, I don't know.
Sorry, just to bring a little bit of humor back for a moment. Wheezy Spreezy said that was more intense than Old Yeller. Yeah, it was. But thank you both. I always.
God, it ain't fair. It ain't fair, Nathan.
I'm sorry.
There.
I know.
It's just like tragedy upon tragedy.
I know. I'm sorry.
They just became this like wound in the world, and we couldn't. Help them. We can't win them all.
No.
You
can't.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like I was trying to see if there was some other solution. I was waiting to see what you both did, and it didn't come to me. I couldn't think of so.
Yeah.
I've really liked this arc.
Oh,
buddy.
Thank you. I'm sorry it was so sad, but I'm glad you liked it. Well, next time we'll just kind of wrap up everything, all the little loose ends of this arc. And yeah, it'll be very roleplay heavy. Not any really like dungeon delving, that kind of stuff. So, and I'll be curious to see what happens as we wrap it up. Are you both doing all right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful evening. We'll see you on Monday. Good night.
Good night.